Hello everyone, I hope you are all doing well. As for me, I am doing great. Before we get started, I want you all to take a moment. Wherever you are right now, just pause. Put everything on hold for a second and take a deep breath with me. What I want you to do now is to ask yourself this question. When was the last time I truly felt calm? The last time my mind was quiet? The last time I wasn't stressed or anxious about something? Most of us can't remember because every day we wake up to alarms, deadlines, exams, responsibilities, and a constant pressure of being productive. We keep pushing our stress and anxiety aside, telling ourselves that they are temporary problems that will disappear once we finish everything. But let's be honest, everything is never done. We live in a society that glorifies being busy. Like, if you're not stressed, people assume that you're not trying harder enough. We talk about our stress and anxiety as if they are not big deal, as if carrying them is simply what everyone is supposed to do. But deep down, we're mentally, emotionally, and even spiritually tired. Stress and anxiety are taking away our inner peace without us even noticing. Here at MNSU, we balance studying, part-time job, pressure from home, expectation, and personal goals. Everyone wants to succeed, but in the process, we forget the most important part, our own well being. I've been through it as well. You know, those moments when you think that pushing yourself hard will calm down the anxiety, but instead, it's builds more stress, more pressure, and more fear of falling behind. However, I've learned that ignoring stress and anxiety doesn't make it disappear. They only make them grow. That's why we're here today to convince you all that managing stress and anxiety intentionally is not optional. It is necessary because when we leave them unchecked, they start to affect every part of our life. Our motivation, our energy, our health, and before we know it, we feel overwhelmed without understanding why. Here is what my group will cover today. First, Jose will talk about what causes stress and anxiety. We talk about how stress and anxiety affect our sleep. Brooklyn will talk about how stress and anxiety affect our social media presence. And finally, Zaiden will talk about how stress and anxiety affect our academic goal. After that, Roman will share practical ways to reduce stress and anxiety so we can all be successful in a healthy way. With that in mind, let's give the floor to Jose, who will help us understand where stress and anxiety come from.
So, what is stress and anxiety? Stress and anxiety does not just appear out of nowhere. It comes from real issues that almost everyone experiences today, whether they're students or not. One of the biggest causes is how fast life moves. The impact of stressful life events published in 2018 reports that many adults and young adults feel overwhelmed because they are constantly juggling work, school, family, responsibilities, and personal goals. When life keeps moving without giving us space to pause, our mind starts to feel overwhelmed. Another cause is pressure to succeed. Students feel this through grades, deadlines, and expectations for the future. Non-students experience the same pressure through job demands, career goals, and trying to maintain a stable lifestyle. According to Mayo Clinic, published in 2013, mentions when responsibilities continue to build, the body enters chronic stress. And chronic stress is where your brain stays on high alert and makes it harder to relax or sleep. Finances are another strong source of stress for all age groups. Students worry about tuition, food, and daily expenses, while non students may manage rent, bills, childcare, and unexpected costs. An article published in 2024, Digital Anxiety in the Finance Function, shows that financial stress is one of the most common triggers of anxiety across the US, and it affects mental health more than people realize. Technology also plays a big role. The Cleveland Clinic, published in 2023, found that constant notifications, social media, and nonstop digital noise increases stress hormones because the brain never gets a break. Even when people think they're relaxing by scrolling, their minds are still comparing, reacting, or worrying about what they see online. A final major cause of stress and anxiety today is uncertainty. Not knowing what's coming next, whether it's worrying about the future, job security, relationships, or major life changes. Uncertainty creates a constant feeling of pressure. Article Uncertainty to Anxiety, published in 2020, explains that unpredictable or lack of control can trigger strong stress responses because the brain tries to prepare for every possible outcome. This kind of mental overthinking can affect anyone, and it makes daily stress feel even heavier. Stress and anxiety today come from a combination of fast-paced lifestyles, pressure to succeed, financial concerns, digital overload, and the uncertainty many people face in their everyday lives. Understanding these causes help us recognize why stress is so common and why learning how to manage it is essential for everyone.
Imagine waking up tomorrow truly feeling rested and ready for your day. No dragging yourself out of bed, no pounding headaches from the 3 coffees you normally have to drink to feel energized in the morning, and no stress about the big event coming up on your schedule. Think about how different you would feel. A lot of people treat sleep as an optional aspect of our lives while our bodies treat it as oxygen and fuel. The times you skip it are the times you pay for it, often in ways we don't even realize. Right now, college students are the most sleep deprived and stressed people in our country. So today we'll talk about the correlation between sleep, stress, and anxiety and show ways we can go about this issue properly. Studies from the American College Association say that over half the college students from each university report poor sleep quality during their college year. Scrolling, gaming, studying late, watching Netflix, telling ourselves one more episode. These are all examples of ways we struggle to get sleep at night, thus causing us to wake up feeling exhausted, moody, anxious, and plenty more emotions I'm sure you felt after a bad night of sleep. Lack of sleep is proven to increase stress hormones, especially cortisol, leaving you feeling various emotions tied to the aspect of stress and anxiety. An article from the Stanford Medicine states that sleep deprivation has been shown to reduce the ability to control our emotions. This shows the importance of the situation and the need to fix this issue. The good news is that improving sleep doesn't require anything extreme. Creating a consistent sleep schedule, laying out the times you need to get stuff done to avoid procrastination, putting the phone away 20 to 35 minutes before bed, ensuring that you're in a good sleep environment are some of the best ways to manage your sleep so you can drop your stress levels and improve your mood and make sure your bigger tasks during the week are more manageable. Another important study I found when researching this is from the Columbia University Irving Medical Center. States that insignificant sleep has been found to increase negative emotional responses to stressors and decrease positive emotions, proving that sleep and stress really go hand to hand in here. It's also important to understand the amount of sleep that you're actually recommended to get per night. A statistic from the Cornell Health Association states that people should be getting at least 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night, while most are getting way less. Now, picture two versions of yourself. Staying up late, sleeping 4 to 5 hours per night, exhausted during your day, stress levels always being high. Now, picture yourself sleeping 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night, waking up feeling energized, already caught up on the things you need to do, low stress levels, and you're overall just more happy and calm. These are both realistic situations you can find yourself in. Insomnia and the overall struggle of sleep is something very serious and needs to be addressed and understood. A piece of information I found from an online library article named Anxiety Insomnia states that the presence of insomnia is associated with the eventual development of a stress and anxiety disorder. This again proves the relevance between these two topics. So, that being said, here's what I want you to do moving forward. Pick a bedtime and stick to it. Schedule your tasks organized through every day so your stressors don't affect the times you need to fall asleep. At the end of the day, our sleep will shape parts of who we are and how our emotions are expressed, whether that be stressed, anxious, happy, and calm.
With sleep being a big part affecting our stress and anxiety, social media also plays this role, with now being a more prevalent part of our daily life. Although social media hasn't been around till much more recently, the constant use of social media affects mental health negatively, leading to lots more stress and anxiety. According to McLean Hospital, using social media creates idolized images and comparisons with others that might lead to feelings of inadequacy and low self-esteem. Social media also comes with harassment and cyberbullying. Online platforms do not have much control over this, which can cause social significant distress and damage to mental health. A term called FOMO, or fear of missing out, is a big cause of stress and anxiety in people. A study from Social Media Victims Law Center shows in the United States by 2013, as many as 56% of all social media users experience FOMO. By creating a constant cycle of social comparison and a fear of being excluded, which is often more amplified by social media, this can lead to a compulsive need to stay updated when one's own life seems less exciting. As individuals grapple with envy and a sense of urgency to participate in events they might not be at, these feelings of isolation can stick with you far beyond the time it happens. The biggest effect I believe that comes from social media is the amount of time we spend on it, limiting the face-to-face interactions with people, leading to feelings of isolation and loneliness. Online communication, primarily text-based, misses nonverbal cues like facial expressions, body language, and tone of voice. This absence can lead to misinterpretations and make it harder to understand the true intent behind a message, a crucial part of in-person communication. According to New Horizons Wellness Services, in face-to-face conversation, individuals must navigate the complexities of real-time communication. This is detrimental, especially to the younger generations, trying to grasp the basics of one-to-one human communication. These replaced interactions by your phone causes the nervousness within a person to have real-world conversations, where those levels of stress start to rise. With all this in mind, it is clear that the effect of social media is negatively impacting the people in the world today. With us being so involved with our devices, these feelings of stress and anxiety are self-inflicted, in which we just need to take a deep breath, take a step back from our phones, and get into the real world.
With sleep and social media being two of the three main causes of stress and anxiety, onto the last one, which is school. School is supposed to be a place where we learn, grow, and prepare for our futures. But for many students, it has become a major source of stress and anxiety. According to the IMBES, adolescents spend an average of 26 hours per week in school. First, I will start with the constant pressure to perform. Grades, tests, and deadlines make it feel like one mistake defines your entire future. When every assignment seems high stakes, it's no surprise that stress levels rise. Many students juggle advanced classes, sports, clubs, and sometimes even jobs, leaving little time to rest or recharge. Research from the American Psychological Association shows that school is one of the top sources of stress for teens. Secondly, the amount of work students receive can be overwhelming. Long hours of homework after a school day can eat into sleep and personal time. Lack of sleep not only makes learning harder, but also increases anxiety, irritability, and burnout. According to data from the CDC, many students report persistent feelings of stress, exhaustion, and related to academic demands. Third, school environments can create social pressure. Trying to fit in, make friends, or avoid judgment can be extremely stressful. Bullying, comparison, and the fear of not being good enough all add to emotional strain. According to prediction of cyberbullying in Turkish adolescents, there is evidence in the literature indicating that as social pressure increases, individuals tend to spend more time online and exhibit higher levels of cyberbullying behaviors. Lastly, many students feel like they don't have control. They must follow schedules, meet expectations, and make big life decisions at a young age, without often without enough support or guidance. This can make school feel less like a place of growth and more like a source of constant pressure. The recent Mental Health of Children and Young People survey reported an overall increase in the prevalence of mental health disorders over time from 9.7% in 1999 to 11.2% in 2017. This shows that mental health disorders are on the rise and we have to do something to stop it now. And Roman will go over what resources are available for us.
Now that we know where anxiety and stress come from and how they affect us, what resources are available for us? Well, regardless of money or insurance, the 988 Suicide Prevention Lifeline is used for the more extreme cases of stress and anxiety, more for the people who feel like they might do something to hurt themselves or might do something they regret. Um, Again, this is more for the more urgent times and needs. But outside of that, what other resources do we have? Well, individual therapy and counseling is always a good option, and you can find that in more local service providers through Greater Health Mankato, which is connected to the MNSU website, and it can help you find help in the area and provide a little tip sheet to help you find what providers might be best for you. But alongside that, why should you get therapy? Well, it's a great way to relieve your stress and anxiety. According to mydenvertherapy.com, cognitive behavioral therapy has around a 70% satisfaction rate, which is a very, very positive results and making therapy well worth it. Another website, thriveworks.com, states that around 87% report seeing meaningful improvements in their day-to-day life from therapy, which is a very worthwhile investment in that case. This could be life-changing for people. But additionally, therapy teaches you the skills that help prepare you for your time without therapy or counseling. And in the journal Anxiety, Stress, and Coping, written by the Taylor and Francis organization, learning how to give yourself self-compassion, a building block into overall mood and how we interact with others, is integral. And we need to learn how to talk to ourselves better. It provides a meaningful, once you can learn how to do that, it provides a meaningful impact on our overall stress and anxiety in social situations. But now that you have the impact and you have the resources available, uh, I'd like to share a little piece of advice or pieces of advice that I've heard from TED Talks. Firstly, John Harry and his This Could Be Why You're Depressed or Anxious states something powerful. To just be yourself when you're feeling stressed is a hard thing to say. Most people, when they're feeling stressed or anxious, kind of hole up, and being themselves means retreating into what they feel is safe. But what it should be saying is you need to find help. You need to look outward. You need to expand out of your comfort zone and look for help. And stop preventing yourself from obtaining the resources that will overall make you feel better and get over that stress and anxiety. But another TED Talk from Kelly McGonigal titled How to Make Stress Your Friend states that people who experienced a lot of stress in the previous year had about a 43% increased risk of dying. But that was only true for the people who believed stress was harmful for your health. Overall, looking at stress in this harmful way makes us believe that it's actively killing us. What we need to be doing is showing people that stress is natural. Stress is something that everyone experiences. Of course, it may be a little unhealthy, but overall, it's okay to have stress. That's why, as adults, we need to admit to ourselves when we need help, when we need to find help, and we need to look for those resources regardless of how we feel. Um, do not let stress control your life. Find help. It's okay. There's nothing embarrassing about finding help or admitting to yourself that you need help. Find help if you need it. Thank you.